guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I am just going to be doing a chatty get ready with me. I don't know if people still do these videos anymore, but I'm going to do one anyway. I just wanted to have a chat with you and update you on things, and I thought whilst I do it I would do my makeup. I'm going to do the kind of everyday makeup I do, not so much recently because obviously when the weather's been warmer, because it has been quite warm here recently, I've been doing makeup even more basic than what I'm going to show you. But this is quite a simple makeup look, but it's like my go-to makeup look, especially for work really. So this is the sort of thing I'd wear on a regular basis. So I'm just going to do my normal go-to makeup and just have a chat with you because there's a few things I wanted to chat about, so I thought why not do my makeup at the same time. So I've already moisturised my face, so I need to go in with primer now, and I use this one. It is the Rimmel London Lasting Finish primer. It's, you know, it's a primer, it does the job. So yeah, I'm going to go in with that first. I'll probably put a headband on to push my fringe back, but I've sat down now and I can't be bothered. So you may notice in this video, because I've not been filming as much over lockdown as usual, I guess, but although it is kind of just a more recent thing in general that I've not been filming as much, so I'm kind of out of the loop. But also basically I'm going to update you as to why I haven't uploaded as much during lockdown, because I had a plan to, you know, film some really fun videos because I have so much time on my hands. But I'm not gonna lie, my motivation has not been good for anything really. All I've really had the motivation to do is, well, nothing really. So yeah, I might seem a little bit different to usual. I'm trying to, you know, keep positive and stuff, but there's a lot going on right now that I'm gonna kind of talk to you about in this video that has affected me. Obviously, before I say anything, there are obviously some really awful things going on in the world right now, and in the grand scheme of things I am so incredibly lucky for the position I'm in. So I just want to put that out there, that I'm not, you know, trying to be like, oh woe is me, but at the same time anything you're going through is valid. Like if you're struggling with something, it is valid, even if, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Everybody has their own struggles and that's okay. So I'm just going to put that out there before I say anything about me personally. Please excuse this awful mirror as well. This is like the most tacky thing ever. This is just a really old one we have from when I used to do dance competitions. I really want one of the Jeffree Star ones. Okay, so my face is primed, so I'm going to go in with foundation, and I have two foundations that I go to all the time, and I think I'm going to use the one that's a little bit lighter. So the heavier one I'd normally use, which is more like a more full coverage, is this one. It's the Revolution Conceal & Define foundation, which I really love. For today, which is probably the one I would use for work more, which, because it's a little bit darker, so, but not like too dark that it's not the right colour for my skin tone. It just makes me look a little bit more tanned, I guess. But this is, I feel like, better to put some more colour in my face. So I use it's another Rimmel London one. It's Lasting Finish 25 hour. Oh, is that the same as the primer? It's literally the same as the primer, like they go together. I didn't even realise. I bought this because I needed a primer and it was the first one I found, and this was on sale. So yeah, I don't go all out with all my makeup. There are some more like high-end stuff that I use. Everybody's in a weird space at the moment, but I am just obviously very lucky and very grateful to be in the position that I am, but I am also having my own struggles. I'm using a Real Techniques beauty sponge to blend out. Mentally, I've been feeling not good during this time, and it's just got it kind of started off really bad, then it got better, and then it got worse again. A lot has happened in the past couple of months and it's been pretty horrific. One thing that's obviously a small thing technically, but obviously a big change, is that my Disney holiday has officially been cancelled, but we kind of knew that that was coming for a long time. Like, regardless of what happened and when it reopened, we were going to reschedule it anyway, because it's just not worth paying that much money with all those restrictions. But it is official that it doesn't open in time anyway. It opens like halfway through when our holiday was meant to be. I normally don't really wet my beauty sponge. Like, I do the first time I use it, but I don't like to use it when it's damp because sometimes it makes it I don't know, I know other people do, but for me I feel like it makes it go really patchy. But for this one, for some reason, it's really dry and it's not blending, so I might have to. But then I can't be bothered to get up, so. You will have seen videos I've posted where I'm like announcing the trip, or I've talked about the dining reservations we've got. Yeah, that's all cancelled, so not going in July anymore. We were just going to rebook for next year, but it doesn't sound like they're bringing out a dining plan for next year, and we want the dining plan, so it might be that we don't even get to go next year. But hopefully they will bring one out, because I think like the free dining plan deal is a lot of the reason why people go, like because people can afford it that way and it's a better deal. So I feel like less people are going to go. I know with all the restrictions in place anyway, it's not worth it. So even if we could go next year and there was still all these restrictions, I wouldn't want to. So maybe I am better waiting it out, but I have gotten really upset about it, obviously. But at the moment I've kind of just, you know, processed it, and I've kind of already dealt with that, I guess. But yeah, that is just one small thing in the grand scheme of things. But in terms of like mentally, I know I probably don't apply this the right way, but let's just ignore that. Mentally, it's been rough, like just because of how I've been coping in general with the whole situation. I feel like it's made my mental health go back to square one in a lot of ways, but then at the same time I look, when I'm in a better mood like today, I look back and I think, I realise no, I have improved so much even in my darkest days now. I know that I have improved so much, and I'm never going to go back to the way I was, because I know how to deal with it now, but or like I kind of understand it, if that makes sense. Because back in the day I just didn't know what was going on, and now I do, but some days it is a lot harder to deal with. Yeah, I've been feeling really rough, and one thing that has really affected it, which is another fairly big update, is I haven't shown them that often in my vlogs, but if you didn't know, I feel like I've shown them recently. We had two rabbits called Ted and Judy, named after Judy Hopps. We've had Ted for a couple of years now, and we bought Judy so that Ted had a little friend, and we bought her less than a year ago, I want to say. I can't remember when it was, but I'm pretty sure it's been less than a year, or it's been about a year. They've both been fine. They're like best mates. They've been doing really well. Like they were completely healthy. Last week, as I'm filming this, I don't know when this is going up. I'm going to try and get it up as quick as possible. Out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere, Judy passed away, and it was the most heartbreaking thing. I literally sobbed all day. Oh, I'm going in with Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, by the way. But it was the most heartbreaking thing. Because, I mean, it's heartbreaking when you lose a pet anyway, but because it literally happened out of nowhere, it was just the biggest shock. It just was horrendous, and I just cried all day, and it really, really put me in an awful, awful mood. And it was just like one thing on top of another. It's just been really hard. So that's an update. We lost her, and it's really heartbreaking. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I probably will cry. But the woman that we brought her off, we obviously told her what had happened, and she like explained what it probably was, and it was something to do with the digestive system, because rabbits have to like be constantly eating, and sometimes they can get blocked up, and it can kind of happen out of nowhere. So it was just one of those things that couldn't be helped, really. But she also said that we needed to get Ted a new friend like as soon as possible, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to bond. Like the longer we left it, he wouldn't be able to bond properly with another rabbit. I didn't like the idea of it, and it's not, we haven't done it because, oh, we lost Judy, let's just replace her with a new one. It's not like that at all. We did it for Ted, and I know that sounds like an excuse, like yeah, it was for Ted, but honestly I did not want a new rabbit yet. Maybe if not ever. Like I was happy with just Ted, and I didn't want to think about having to introduce a new rabbit. But we have done that for Ted because we were told that was the best thing to do, and he was grieving. My mum looked into how rabbits grieve and stuff, and he was grieving. He was really sad. And so we now have a new rabbit, same age as Ted, that we got from the same woman, and her name is Coco. That was already her name, so we've just kept it because we didn't want to change it. I know rabbits probably don't understand that concept of, you know, their names, but I don't know, maybe they do. I should probably look into that. But yeah, we've kept it as Coco, and she now lives with Ted in the garden, which is really weird because it's obviously all just happened so fast and it is quite hard to deal with, because I know a lot of people don't understand it. They're like, yeah, it's just a rabbit, but it's just a pet. But pets become part of your family, so it is such a big deal and such a hard thing to go through. So I know a lot of you who've lost pets will understand, but yeah, that happened last week. It was pretty horrendous. I was meant to weekly vlog last week, but then I just had an absolute breakdown and it was awful. I couldn't stop crying. I was really low, like the lowest I've ever been last week. I was basically having quite a lot of very dark thoughts and feeling absolutely hopeless, and yeah, it's been rough and a little bit scary, but slowly trying to pick myself back up again. Like, even just doing this is a big step for me at the moment. Like, not just filming, just putting on makeup and getting ready. Like, that's not, I feel like that's a common misconception, that to get yourself out of a rut you need to like put on some makeup and make yourself look pretty, but that's not it. You need to do whatever helps you. But this is one thing that's like a big deal for me, because I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to see anyone. I mean, I know, I guess in lockdown I couldn't really see anyone anyway, but over the past couple of days I felt better, so that's good. I just need to pick myself back up and try and get myself back to normal again. I'm just applying some powder from Avon. It's Avon Colour Trend. I love this powder, it's so smooth. I know there's kind of like misconception with Avon and that their makeup's like not good, but we've always, me and my mom have always like gotten stuff from Avon. We know people that are like sellers of it. I really like their makeup. I don't have issues with it at all. I know a lot of people think it's not good, but I really like it. I've always got on with Avon products. But yeah, this has taken me a while to talk about because it's been really hard to process it, and I felt very like I'm going crazy. But yeah, I've been, obviously my anxiety is always all over the place, although in a way like my anxiety is kind of better, which is weird. I've just been feeling very low and it's been quite scary and sad. We're on the mend, so it'll all be okay, hopefully, but hopefully I won't have to go through all of that again, because the last few days I've been feeling better and not been having those really horrible thoughts and things. So hopefully things are going to get better now. It's really hard to talk about, so maybe I'll talk about it more when I'm a bit more ready, but right now it's a bit too soon, you know. It's a bit hard for me to talk about. Sometimes this helps, sometimes it doesn't, but saying like, oh, lots of people go through it, it makes, I don't know, sometimes that's a good thing to hear, but sometimes it's not, do you know what I mean? But yeah, just know that it's okay and it's something we can all get through, and we will. Like, this lockdown is not going to last forever. We are going to be able to see our family again and hug our family again. Obviously I'm very lucky in the fact that I live with my mum and dad still, but like obviously other family members and friends, you're going to be able to hug them again and see them again close up, you know. It's not always going to be like this, although it does feel like it at the moment. All I keep thinking about in this video is that I just don't see myself, but it's because, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not myself at the moment, but I'm getting there. Like, it's okay to not feel like yourself, and do you know what I mean? Like, you can probably tell in this video I'm not myself, but it's something that I'm gonna work on and I will get better. It's just a weird time and everybody goes through this at some point. Right, now I'm gonna go in with brows. So I've done all the base. Well, I've done like foundation, concealer and powder. I know a lot of people go straight in with like contour, blush and highlight after this, but for some reason I don't. I go in with brows next. So I'm gonna use the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit, and as you can see, these brows need doing, but we're in lockdown, so that can't happen. I mean, I suppose we're not technically in full lockdown anymore, but you should still all be very careful. That doesn't mean like gather in massive groups or anything like that. The reason so many restrictions are being lifted is because of the economy, not because it's safe. So just putting that out there. Speaking of which, obviously the rule has been changed that you can meet up to 6 people, obviously at a distance, in an outdoor space, like in a public place or in your garden. A few days ago my boyfriend actually came over and I finally got to see him. I saw him very briefly a few weeks ago when he was stood at the top of my drive, but that was like very brief. But I actually got to properly see him. He sat in the garden, we stayed 2 meters away, we actually filmed some TikToks, so go and follow my TikTok, which is just Esme Hill. We stayed 2 meters apart, we followed the rules, we didn't cheat it, we didn't think, oh, we'll just, you know, we'll just sit next to each other, no one has to know. Like, we were so strict on it. That is something I'm very proud of this lockdown, is I've been so strict on these rules, and so has he, and we've been doing so well. That's why it's hard to see other people breaking the rules, because it feels unfair when you're trying so hard and, you know, doing what you're supposed to be doing, thinking about the safety of other people, and other people just don't care about that, and they just do their own thing and go and meet up with their friends, not social distancing, and it's really annoying. But at the end of the day, no matter what the rules are, there's going to be people that don't follow it, which is really, really frustrating, but there's nothing you can do about it, I suppose. Another thing that's been really stressful on our family is that my nan actually had to go and have an operation. Like, it was something we knew about for a while. It got held off for a while because of, obviously, the pandemic. A couple of days before she went in for the operation, it wasn't long before, I can't remember how long before, but they were like, we can get you in for your operation. But they said she should be fine, and she went in for the operation on my birthday, or I think she had it the day before my birthday, but obviously she was in recovery the day after. So the operation went really well, so that was great news for us. First thing we heard was that it had gone really well. So we were like, okay, brilliant, we can, you know, relax and she'll be recovered and she'll be out within a few days. That was the recovery time we were told. Unfortunately, there were some complications in her recovery, so it made her really, really poorly, and she's been in hospital for a few weeks now, and a lot longer than she was meant to be, and she was really struggling, and we were obviously really concerned. We didn't know what was going to happen, so that was another thing that was really hard to... I've just dropped it down the side of my bed. That's really good. Oh my god, I can't get it. As you can tell, it was just one thing on top of another, and it just all got a bit too much, and I think that's what caused me overall to really feel low. Like, I've been struggling with, like, my mental health in terms of, like, not just anxiety, just like feeling really low and stuff for a little while anyway, but it's just reached a huge peak obviously over the past week. Oh, that rhymes. Also, please excuse how ghastly my brows look. Obviously there's only so much I can do with them at the moment. Now I'm going to go in with 3D brow tones just to set it in place and finish them off. That's another thing that's been really, really hard on my mental health, but good news is that she has really recovered over the past few days. She's had such a huge improvement, and she's come home, and it's brilliant. So we're so glad that she's okay. Like, she's been able to talk to my mum on the phone and everything. Yeah, she's now doing so much better. Obviously she still has a lot of recovering to do, but she's on her way back to her normal self again, so that's really helped me. But yeah, last week was a really rough week. Okay, so just please ignore the brows, because I can't do a lot with them. I'm gonna go in with eyeshadow now, and my go-to eyeshadow palette for every day and for work is the Beauty Bay Saffron Bark palette. She brought out a few of these. They're just these small palettes which came with stickers that you could add onto. And I have the Good Vibes Only one, and as you will see now, I use it a lot. I've hit pan on 2 shades, and I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so it's not often that I hit pan on something. You can tell I use this a lot. Like, it's not the most pigmented thing in the whole world, but that's why I use it for every day, because it's just so subtle and easy to use. It's just so quick. So I usually go in with, obviously, you can probably tell which 2 shades. So I use this one in the crease. They don't have names, so I use this one in the crease and then this one on the lid most of the time. Sometimes I use slightly different ones, but that's usually the go-to. I'm not trying to diminish, is that the right word? I'm not trying to, like, rain on the fact that people are in critical condition, you know, suffering with COVID, or I hate the phrase like there's people worse off than you, but obviously it's true, and it's not that I don't understand that, it's just that it shouldn't mean that you can't be upset about things you're going through or be having a hard time with yourself. Even like the little things, of course you're going to be gutted if your holiday's been cancelled. Like, I'm gutted that I've lost my dream holiday, but I realised that that is, you know, very materialistic and not the worst thing that could have happened to me. But it doesn't matter if you're upset about that, like that's fine. You can be upset about things while also understanding how lucky you are and being grateful for what you do have. So yeah, that's one thing I firmly believe in, but of course I am very lucky. I've just had a lot of things to deal with recently, like mentally and just life things that have happened. As you can see, that's literally taken me like 2 seconds, and it's just, I just feel like it's just a really nice natural eyeshadow and just makes me look a little bit more alive. Again, I'm not the best at makeup, so this is just very, very basic. So then I'm going to put the other shadow that I showed you, the gold one, on my lid. But yeah, there's a few like brief updates as to what I'm going through at the moment and like things that have happened. So quite a few changes. Not going on holiday anymore. Lost one of my best friends, my little Judy Hops, which is, oh god, I can't talk about it too much because it really, really upsets me. Same with everything really. Obviously bit of a scare with my nan, but now she's doing a lot better, so that's good. Mentally I have been at my worst, but other than that, woohoo. Like, oh, one thing I really miss, as well as like my family and friends that I can't see at the moment, is work. I miss work so much, but hopefully I'll be back soon. Still no definite date that we reopen, but I'm sure I'll keep you informed as soon as, you know, I can tell you, as soon as it's like a public thing. But yeah, it's kind of like up in the air at the moment. We hope to open soon, but who the hell knows what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm sure you guys will know once we reopen, because, you know, you'll probably see it on social media and stuff. But yeah, I really want to get back to work soon. Like, I know it's going to be so different. I realised I didn't tell you, I've just taken a bit of the shadow I put in the crease underneath my eyes, but obviously there's also a bit of the gold on there, so it kind of mixes together still. So it's very messy, very basic. Like, there's no fancy cut crease or any kind of specific method. I just kind of slap it on and hope for the best. Now I'm just going to put a bit of mascara on and then get back to you when the mascara's on. This literally, sometimes I'll do liner, but a lot of the time when I'm doing it slightly quicker, I'll skip the liner and just go straight into mascara, which is what I'm gonna do today. Okay, so mascara's done. I don't think I told you which one I use. It's the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I don't know how to talk anymore. Maybelline Lash, oh my god, Maybelline Lash Sensational. There we go. For contour, I am going to use the 17 Define and Conquer Contour Kit, which comes with a contour and a kind of highlight powder shade, which, as you can see, is gone. But I'm going to use just a contour shade, and I use this brush that I got as a gift from Primark. It's one of from the K-pop range. This is perfect for contour. Like, obviously it just fits perfectly. This is my go-to now, but these kind of brushes are perfect for contour in my opinion. Other chats about other things, I've kind of briefly explained what's going on in my life at the moment. As you can see, it's a whole roller coaster, but I feel like I haven't in this video shown exactly how I'm feeling, because although I'm not fully myself again, like, I'm in a slightly better mood today, so you're not seeing my raw emotion. But trust me when I tell you it's been rough, and maybe I'll elaborate on it more in the future, but right now I just wanted to kind of explain what's going on. But other than that, and, you know, COVID being an absolute babe, there's obviously been some other very serious and horrific things going on in the world right now. And obviously recently we heard about George Floyd being murdered by the police, which makes me feel sick. And when I hear the things he was saying as he was being killed, and just the whole reasoning behind it, it's awful, and breaks my heart that still to this day people are treated so differently just because of the colour of their skin. It literally baffles me. I just don't physically understand how it even matters. Like, why should they get treated differently? Like, what is the reason? I just will never understand it, and it breaks my heart. So I've been trying to educate myself on the whole situation, because I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing and being as helpful as possible. I'm signing petitions, I'm donating, just making sure that I am using my voice and my privilege as much as I can. Hopefully things will change, but the sad thing is I'm like, I don't see it changing because there's just people in the world that will just never understand how to be a decent human and how to treat people the way they should be treated. Do you know what I mean? There's always going to be awful people, especially when you put awful people in charge, you know, like Donald Trump. That's not going to help, is it? Because he's just the most horrific human on the planet. And it's just sad to think that a lot of the time people just assume that racism to that extreme isn't happening as much anymore. Like, people think that's an old-fashioned thing, but it's not. It's still going on and it's still awful. Like, racism on any level is awful, but people think it's not as bad as it used to be, but it really, really is. It's just horrible, and it's been really hard to read. And although I will never understand, I saw a post online that I've been sharing, but a post that said, although I will never understand, I stand with you. And of course I'm never gonna fully understand at all what these people go through, but I will do everything I can to help and make sure that this changes. But it's just really stressful, and sometimes you think, I really want this to change, but I'm scared it's not going to. And my heart breaks for the black community because it's just horrible. I will never understand why people think it's okay to discriminate someone because of the colour of their skin. It breaks my heart. Keep educating yourself on it. Keep doing whatever you can to help and make your voice heard. Just speak up, don't stay silent. Another amazing quote I saw was that it's not enough to not be racist, we need to be actively anti-racist. So we need to speak up and talk about it more, not just stay silent and just silently support, because that's not helpful. So yeah, it's horrendous, and I really, oh my god, there's a spider! Ah! Really not good of me to just, you know, start panicking about a spider when I was trying to talk about something very serious. Very sorry about that, but it did scare me. Make your voice heard, help out as much as you can with this situation, because it honestly really upsets me and breaks my heart that the black community have to go through stuff like this all the time. It's awful, and it's not fair the way they've been treated. These police officers, I know they've been arrested, but I really hope that they get the punishment that they actually deserve. They don't get let off lightly, because it's just not okay. It's not okay. But of course that is another awful thing that's going on in the world right now. 2020 is a real awful thing, but I need to carry on with my makeup because this video is very long. So now onto blusher. This is my go-to blusher. I use this one from Kiko, and it's in the shade, it's a multicolour blush. It's in the shade 2, which is Blending Wave. Don't even know if you can get this anymore because I've had this for a really long time. Looks like this. It's such a nice blush. It's quite pigmented, so you literally have to use the lightest amount. I don't know if you can see it. It just gives such like a natural colour, but obviously you can build it up if you want something more intense, but I just feel like it makes me look a little bit more alive. Another thing I've been doing recently with blush is putting a little bit on my nose here, because I've seen a lot of people do that and I feel like it looks really cute. Yeah, let me know in the comments how you've been coping with 2020 in general. Let me know how you guys are doing, because I know that a lot of people are struggling too, and I'm not the only one. And yeah, just have a chat in the comments, or never hesitate to DM me on Instagram. I know I've said this a lot in my videos before, but if you need someone, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Esme Hill, as well as my TikTok. Just my name. Easy to find me. I always want to help people as much as I can, and sometimes you just need to know that you've got someone that's there, so I can be that person for you if you need me. So I know I'm not an expert on, you know, helping people or anything like that, but I like to do what I can. Now I'm going to go in with highlight. My current go-to for work and like when I'm doing this makeup look is the Mary Luminizer highlighter from the Balm, which is an old classic and very well loved, as you can see. So I'm just going to put some of this on, just a little amount, and put it here. It just gives such a nice glow. It's not a highlighter that's too intense, which is why it's perfect for every day, because it still gives you the nice glow, but you know, it doesn't look like so intense, which of course I like a blinding highlighter, but sometimes, you know, better to tone it down. Don't know if it'll come across on camera, or you can kind of see it. It's just so natural, but it just looks so nice. I feel like I haven't properly explained everything going on. This is meant to be more of an in-depth update, which I guess it has been, but I always worry that I'm leaving things out because I don't plan exactly what I want to say, because I feel like it's better that way most of the time. I just feel like I don't always get everything across, and it doesn't come across how I'm actually feeling, because it's very easy to hide your feelings behind a smile. That is something that obviously I knew anyway, but something I've learned even more so recently, that it's so easy to just put on a face and make people think that you're not actually feeling as bad as you are, which is one thing that's really frustrating because of how I deal with things in person or, you know, in public. I kind of hide behind like a mask almost, so people will think, oh, she's actually doing all right, oh, she's fine about this, really, she's been fine, she's been happy, she's been smiling, so she must be okay. Not how it works. You never know what's going on in someone's brain. I have really been suffering recently, but people would never realise the level of it because I don't show it. I just don't show that raw emotion that often because I just don't. And I like to show when I'm feeling at those times. I'm feeling like that sometimes if I'm having a hard time. I like to show you how I'm feeling, and I try and tell you how I'm feeling, but obviously when I'm filming a lot of the time it's when I'm in a better place, because when I'm in that sort of place I don't necessarily want to film, so you know what I mean. But just know that no matter how happy I look today, it doesn't mean that I'm doing great. Remember that, just in general, with anyone you meet, anyone you speak to, just remember that you never know how they're really feeling. Now on to the last step, which is lips. Well, I now actually have setting spray, which I've never had before. I now own a setting spray, guys, would you believe it? She's stepped up her game. For lips, I always use this for work. If I don't, I'll show you the few options that I normally do use. So I'll sometimes switch it between. It's usually one of these two or another one that I think is over there. So sometimes I'll use more of like a brownie nude, and I use the liquid lipstick from NYX. It's one of the liquid suede ones, I think. Yes, it's the liquid suede from NYX, and it's in the shade Sandstorm. It's like the brownie nude. You might have seen people use it before. Sometimes I'll use the Sleek Matte Me liquid lipstick in the shade Birthday Suit, which is a nice pinky nude. But my main go-to, which is so well loved that all the writings come off it, it's pretty much empty now. I don't know if you can see, it's pretty much empty. But this is actually the Colourpop collaboration with Zoella, and it is the shade Little One. So she brought out a few of the liquid lipsticks as well as an eyeshadow palette, which I've got, and some other things. But yeah, I love this so much, and it's not really like me to use up a lip product so much that it runs out, so you can tell that I really like this. It's the perfect nude shade, like the most perfect nude shade I've ever owned. It goes with literally every single makeup look, and I'm so sad that it's nearly run out because I don't think you can get these anymore. But I probably shouldn't be rebuying new makeup. I need to use up the stuff I've got. But this is literally, I'm scraping the barrel. Like, can you see where I'm scraping it? Can you see there, those lines where I'm having to scrape the sides to get some out? But yeah, this is the liquid lip I'll try that again. This is the liquid lipstick in the shade Little One from Colourpop Zoella. Colourpop X Zoella or Zoella X Colourpop, whichever way around it is. So I'm just going to put this on. It lasts all day, don't have to reapply it. This really is pretty much empty. I probably won't get many more uses out of this, but I am going to make the most of it. Also, let me know what you guys have been watching during lockdown. I haven't actually been watching loads of TV. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing because if you saw my last vlog, I now have a Switch. I used to play Animal Crossing on my Wii and my DS anyway, so I've always been a big fan of it, and that's one of the reasons I wanted a Switch, although I have wanted one since they came out. But yeah, I've been obsessed with that, and I haven't actually been watching loads of films or things like that, but I have been watching a few things. I watched all of Hannah Montana because I have Disney Plus. I was obsessed with Hannah Montana when I was younger, and I'd already watched it all a million times, but now I've been able to watch every single episode on Disney Plus. I've currently started watching Sweet Life of Zack and Cody from the beginning again because that was another show I was obsessed with, and there's loads of things on Disney Plus I've been watching. I've spoken about them in other videos, but let me know what you guys have been watching. But now I just need to use my setting spray, and this is the first setting spray I've ever used in my life. It is the NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. So I think they have a version of this where it's a matte finish, but I have quite dry skin, so I was worried that was going to make my makeup go a bit patchy maybe, but I just thought this would be better for my skin type, so just put a bit of this on. Don't know what I'm doing, so I'll just try. Oh god. I always feel like Jeffree Star when I put this on. Is that weird? Yes, that's me. That is weird. And then I fan myself. Oh god. I don't know if this works because I wouldn't say my makeup always lasts really well, but I don't usually have too many problems with it all like melting off or anything. So technically I don't need this maybe, but I don't know. I just wanted to try it and see. But I have only used it a few times so far, but I haven't noticed it do anything weird to my face or anything. Like, I think it does well. Like, my makeup usually lasts really well, so I think this just adds to that a bit more. Yeah, that is the go-to makeup look I use, so I'll wear this for work when I'm performing. Literally minutes away from finishing the video and my battery dies, of course, so I've just had to quickly swap over to one that isn't fully charged either, so this might die too. Yeah, I'll wear this when I'm presenting shows at work, or when I want to put some makeup on that's kind of, you know, everyday. Don't want to make too much of an effort, but want to look nice. But also during lockdown, like I said, in the hot weather, I've been doing less than this. It's literally been like bronzer, blusher, highlight, bit of mascara, put some brow gel in, and that's pretty much it, and a little bit of gloss or lip balm. Usually my go-to everyday makeup look, and I think it's just one that's easy. It normally takes me less time, but because I've been talking at the same time, it's obviously taken a bit longer, which I expected, but it doesn't take me long. I always feel like it turns out well. It's like a guaranteed look that will, you know, look presentable, and it just works for me. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Can we talk about this fringe? This is what lockdown has done to my hair. A lot of people say, just cut it yourself. It's not gonna work. I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm just gonna wait until I can go and get it cut again. But yeah, I need to sort out this mop. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I kind of most of the time at the moment just leave it natural because it looks better, because if I try and style it I can't because my fringe is too long. It's just a lot. But yeah, hope you kind of got a bit more of an insight as to what's going on and why I haven't been uploading as much as I wanted to, but I am starting to plan some videos. Me and my sister have been working together on some little video ideas, so hopefully my motivation will come back. It's just been really hard for me to do a lot of different things during this time, which is okay if you're feeling like that, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure that because we've got so much free time, it's like do loads of painting, write a book, you know, build a house. Maybe not to that extreme, but you know what I mean. People, which if you want to do that is amazing, and I would love to do that, but sometimes it's not that easy, and sometimes you can't bring yourself to do a lot. So if you're in that position, just know I'm with you. I do want to get back into my channel more because I really have neglected it, and I just want to make some more content for you. So fingers crossed we're going to get some more stuff coming your way, and I really mean it this time. I've also been putting more effort into my TikToks. I'm going to start uploading on there more. I'm setting myself a plan. My sister's been helping me out. We had a call last night and we talked about how we can, you know, up my game on YouTube. She's like my little manager helping me out. But yeah, this is the makeup look. I hope you enjoy. I hope you like it. I know my brows are tragic, but there's only so much I can do with them at the moment. If I put the fringe forward, it covers it anyway. I mean, I can't see because it's in my eyes, but that's not the point. Yeah. Hopefully I got everything across that I wanted to. There's probably stuff I missed out, and I realised it might not have come across just how bad it is, but hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.